Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses members of Indian community in Trinidad and Tobago, outlines plans for deeper ties with the Caribbean nation to receive the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the nation's highest honor. After marathon discussions, Donald Trump's mega big and beautiful bill passes key US House vote. Trump says the bill will make America into a rocket ship, invites all members of the Senate to bill signing ceremony. Trump speaks with his Russian counterpart Putin after US pauses some weapon shipments to Ukraine, says did not make any progress as the Kremlin insisted the Russian president would stick to his aims in the conflict. California battles biggest wildfire of the year. Hundreds ordered to evacuate as dozens of buildings are threatened. Turkey, Greece and Spain also struggling with blaze as Europe heat wave continues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Trinidad and Tobago as part of his five-nation tour. Prime Minister Modi was received by Prime Minister of the Caribbean nation along with her cabinet and senior leaders. The two Prime Ministers also addressed Namaste Modi event where thousands of Indian diaspora members attended from across the nation.
A rousing welcome for Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he landed in Trinidad and Tobago. In a special gesture, Prime Minister was received by Kamla Prasad Bisesar, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, along with the members of her cabinet and several other dignitaries. Prime Minister arrived in Port of Spain on the second leg of his five-nation tour in Africa and Latin America. Prime Minister was accorded a ceremonial guard of honor and welcomed with special cultural performances. Later, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with his counterpart Kamla Prasad Bisesar, attended the Namaste Modi event, where the two leaders addressed thousands of Indian diaspora members. At the event, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago also announced nation's highest honor to Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Through your benevolence with the vaccines initiative 4 years ago, when COVID-19 pandemic brought the world to its knees, while some other countries were hoarding medical supplies, you, sir, you ensured that vaccines and supplies reach even the smallest nations, including Trinidad and Tobago. Through your benevolence, you brought hope and calm where there was fear. I say again, this was more than diplomacy. This was an act of kinship. This was an act of shared humanity. This was an act of love. And this is one of the many reasons we are deeply proud to bestow upon you, Excellency, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Addressing the Indian community, Prime Minister Narendra Modi recounted the deep historic and cultural bonds between the two countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also announced extension of the OCI cards to sixth-generation members of the Indian diaspora. He spoke about decision of mapping of Girmitia community to bring it closer for a bright future.
I am happy to announce that OCI cards will now be given to the sixth generation of the Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. You are not just connected by blood or surname. You are connected by belonging. India looks out you. India welcomes you. And India embraces you.
Later, Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar hosted a dinner in honor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
As Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Trinidad and Tobago, the world once again saw Modi brand of diplomacy. From Trinidad and Tobago conferring PM Modi with their highest award to PM Modi reciprocating and extending the OCI card for sixth generation of Indian diaspora in the country. The visit by PM Modi to the Caribbean nation is not only deepening the friendship between the two countries, but also is proving to be a milestone in India's outreach to the global south. With camera person Mohit Oike and Saurav Shukla, Akshay Dongre, TD India.
Prime Minister Modi met Trinidad and Tobago counterpart Kamla Prasad Bisesar. Prime Minister Modi presented the replica of Ayodhya's Ram Temple, water from the holy Saryu River, along with the water from the Triveni Sangam to Kamla Prasad Bisesar. Members of the Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago were delighted as Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Caribbean nation. Our correspondent Aditya Srivastav brings us more.
It was so exciting day. We are very closely. We watched. We met Modi ji. It was so memorable day today. Thank you very much.
Modi,
You are very excited. Why?
Yes, I feel all my pores raised when he passed next to me. Beautiful. I feel energetic.
Thank you, Modi ji, for gracing us with your splendid presence here in Trinidad today. Thank you again and again.
I was very excited to see him for where he came and where he become now Prime Minister of India. That's really tremendous. And the shoes he wore when he was going to school, he had no shoes. And he used to take the chalk and color his shoes to get it white. That impressed me such a great deal. That is humility. Beautiful.
I was so excited that Prime Minister Modi was coming, and I was so happy that I could meet him at such a close range. I haven't seen him so close. I'm so happy to be here.
Very, very much. Great. It's such a great guy, great man come to this country. So we welcome him.
Miss World Trinidad and Tobago 2025 Annalisa Nanton, who represented her country in the beauty pageant held in India recently, lauded Prime Minister Modi's efforts to understand the connection, deep cultural roots between both the nations.
You know, it really just touches your heart and you can't help but listen to him. And he really, really understands the connection, the deep cultural roots that we share with India, Trinidad and Tobago because of our history. And I know that all about the Trinbagonian who are here today, they really connected with him.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's second day in Ghana highlights the cultural connections, youth engagement and development partnerships. Prime Minister Modi lands in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago for the second leg of his five-nation diplomatic tour, celebrating 180 years of shared history and heritage. A civilizational bond that began with resilience now thrives through culture, community and cooperation. Let's take a look.
When we look at Ghana, we see a nation that shines with courage, that rises above history, that meets every challenge with dignity and grace. Your commitment to democratic ideals and inclusive progress truly made Ghana a beacon of inspiration for the entire African continent. The histories of India and Ghana bear the scars of colonial rule, but our spirits have always remained free and fearless. We draw strength and inspiration from our rich heritage. We take pride in our social, cultural, and linguistic diversity. We build nations rooted in freedom, unity, and dignity. We deeply value the strength and support of our diaspora. With over 35 million people spread across the world, the Indian diaspora is our pride. And I have often said, each one of you is a Rashtradoot, an ambassador of India's values, culture and heritage. I am happy to announce that OCI cards will now be given to the 6th generation of the Indian diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. We are not just connected by blood or surname. You are connected by belonging. India looks out to you. India welcomes you. And India embraces you.
On the third leg of his five-nation visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Buenos Aires, marking the first bilateral visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Argentina in 57 years. DD India's correspondent Arun Sharma spoke with Ambassador of India to Argentina, Ajnish Kumar, about Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit to Argentina, highlighting the bond shared by the two nations.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a two-day visit to Argentina. But why is this visit significant? To get a perspective on this visit, I am joined by Indian Ambassador Designate to Argentina, Mr. Ajnish Kumar. Sir, thank you so much for talking to Doordarshan.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Argentina. So why is this visit significant? From economic aspect, from a bilateral aspect, what is your point of view on that, sir?
So this visit of Honorable Prime Minister to Argentina, though he was very much here in 2018 for the G20, but this visit becomes all the more important because it is happening after a long spell. This visit is happening at a very momentous occasion. Honorable Prime Minister is coming here. He had met only last year in November His Excellency, the President of Argentine Republic, Mr. Javier Milei. And this visit is only going to consolidate the dialogue and the conversation between the two leaders.
When we talk about rare earth mineral, Argentina is part of that lithium triangle. India is aiming to enhance its capacities as far as green infrastructure is concerned. So how is this relationship complementary in nature?
India is already present in Argentina in the sectors that you identified. We have our institution called CABIL, which is here, and they have also started prospecting, and we will have some great results coming out from there. But it is not only CABIL, it is also the Indian private sector. There is a company called Greenco, which is here. I'm told that there are another one or two more companies which are looking at. But the happy part is that during the visit of the YPF chief to India this January, the three major Indian oil companies, that is ONGC Videsh, Oil India and GAIL, they too have signed something which will not only be looking at the gas proportion, but also critical minerals. So there is an immense possibility and a lot of scope, and I'm sure that in the coming years we will have many more good news coming out.
So what are the expectations of the Argentinian side when it comes to this visit?
As far as India is concerned, we are looking at further strengthening our economic engagement in the country. With economic engagements, there are always prospects for investments, and also entering into the areas what we call non-traditional areas. I think there is immense possibility for the two nations to find complementarities and work towards further strengthening the economic bonds.
How is this visit going to, give a push to the people-to-people ties? Because be it yoga or be it Ayurveda or be it, people-to-people connect in the cultural aspect.
I have no hesitation in saying that India and Indian soft power, whether it is by way of yoga, by way of Indian spiritualism, by way of the popularity of Ayurveda, or even to some extent Indian movies and films, is part and parcel of the local milieu.
Ambassador clearly saying this, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Argentina will give boost to the relationship between both the countries, be it bilaterally or, as far as the other aspect of the relationship are concerned, that is people-to-people connect as well. With camera person Vinay, Arun Sharma, Doordarshan News, Argentina.
All right, changing track now. In Washington, President Donald Trump is riding a wave of political victories, both at home and abroad. His landmark tax and spending bill, dubbed as the One Big Beautiful Bill, has narrowly passed Congress, marking a significant boost to his second-term agenda. Our correspondent gets us this report.
There could be no better birthday present for America than the phenomenal victory we achieved just hours ago when Congress passed the One Big Beautiful Bill to make America great again.
For a man who once boasted his supporters would get tired of winning, Donald Trump is living up to the promise. His latest triumph is the passage of a sweeping tax and spending bill narrowly approved by Congress in a tight 218 to 214 vote. The sprawling $4.5 trillion package fulfills many of Trump's campaign promises, from increased military spending and funding for mass migrant deportations to extending tax relief measures from his first term.
This bill includes the largest tax cut in American history, the largest spending cut in American history, the largest border security investment in American history, although I must tell you, if you saw last month, they had 0 people coming through our border, 0.
The bill seals Trump's hardline U.S. domestic policy into law, in contrast to the rush of presidential executive orders he signed that can be overturned by his successors. President Trump hailed the bill's passage as a major boost to the U.S. economy, promising it will send America into a rocket ship. After days of tense negotiations and late-night talks, Speaker Mike Johnson managed to unite a fractious Republican House behind the bill, overcoming vocal dissent from within the party.
And we knew that if we won, and we believed we would, we knew that if we got unified government, we'd have to quite literally fix every area of public policy. Everything was an absolute disaster under the Biden-Harris radical, woke, progressive Democrat regime. And we took the best effort that we could in one big, beautiful bill to fix as much of it as we could.
Meanwhile, Democrats led by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries waged a nearly 9-hour speech marathon opposing the legislation, calling it a reckless Republican budget that favors the wealthy at the expense of everyday Americans.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in strong opposition to Donald Trump's one big, ugly bill. This disgusting abomination, the GOP tax scam that guts Medicaid, rips food from the mouths of children, seniors, and veterans, and rewards billionaires with massive tax breaks.
Former President Joe Biden echoed these concerns, calling the bill not only reckless, it's cruel. The White House is calling it a hot Trump summer, celebrating a series of wins that have bolstered Trump's standing, including recent progress toward an Iran-Israel ceasefire and a NATO spending deal. But as the president gears up for a reimposition of steep tariffs on dozens of global economies, uncertainty looms in international markets. Trump's winning streak has meanwhile fueled the self-belief of a man who said he had been saved by God to make America great again after he survived an assassination attempt last year. Bureau Report, DD India.
US President Donald Trump said that no progress was made with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin as the two leaders discussed Russia-Ukraine conflict in an hour-long telephonic call on Thursday. Trump's grim assessment came as US led peace talks on ending the more than 3-year-old conflict have stalled, and after Washington paused some weapon shipments to Kyiv, whereas Kremlin said that Putin had insisted he would not give up on Russia's goals, specifically eliminating the root cause of the current situation. Moreover, Trump has shown increasing disappointment with Putin after an early pivot towards the Russian leader. In recent weeks, he knocked back Putin's offer to mediate in the Iran-Israel conflict, telling him to focus on their home conflict instead. As per the reports, Trump and Zelensky are also likely to hold talks on Friday. Global weather updates now. Massive wildfires are sweeping across California, Greece and Turkey, forcing the evacuation of thousands, destroying homes and once again underscoring the growing threat posed by climate-driven natural disasters. In California, over 300 firefighters battled a massive blaze on Thursday as the state braces for a difficult wildfire season. The region is facing its largest wildfire so far this year amid federal cuts to agencies responsible for combating climate disasters. As wildfires rage near Athens, Greece's firefighters use planes to dump water over the flames. Thousands of people have been evacuated from southern Greek island of Crete. Hot, dry weather in Greece has heightened the risk of a repeat of the summer wildfires that have hit the country in recent years. In Turkey, death toll rises in western region as blazes raged across several other parts as well. Firefighters continue to battle flames with helicopters and planes dropping water over mountainous terrain in Izmir, while authorities close some roads to the Asian resort town of Sesame. And after this, we get you weather updates from India now. National capital Delhi experienced a pleasant start to the day with light rainfall in parts of the city. The Met Department has not issued any weather warnings for Delhi NCR, forecasting partly cloudy skies with very light to light rains, accompanied by occasional thunderstorms and lightning. Heavy to extremely heavy rainfall is expected in East Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Punjab. Specifically, East Rajasthan may witness extremely heavy rainfall, while very heavy rainfall is predicted for Uttarakhand till July 7th. The IMD has forecast extremely heavy rainfall for South Konkan and Goa and Maharashtra. It has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall for the Konkan, Goa and Gujarat regions during the next few days. Isolated heavy rainfall also predicted for parts of East and Central India. East Madhya Pradesh may witness very heavy rainfall till July 7th. IMD has also predicted light to moderate rainfall with thunderstorms, lightning and isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall over northeast India during the next 7 days, with isolated extremely heavy rainfall over Meghalaya on July 6th. Extremely heavy rainfall is expected in coastal and south interior Karnataka, Kerala, Mahe and interior Karnataka may experience heavy rainfall during the next few days. In the wake of heavy rainfall in different parts of the nation, Union Home Minister Amit Shah spoke with Chief Ministers of Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Chhattisgarh. Adequate number of NDRF teams have been deployed in the states for the people in need and more reinforcements can be sent as and when required. He also assured Chief Ministers of all the states of all possible assistance from the central government. The 37th Jagannath Rath Yatra celebrated in Paris with great devotion, joy and unity. The grand chariot procession of Lord Jagannath, Lord Balbhadra and Devi Subhadra moved through the great streets with enthusiasm as people sang bhajans, danced and chanted together, spreading spiritual energy and happiness. Over 5,000 people participated in this special festival, which brings together not only the Indian community but also devotees from across Europe, including countries like Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland and Italy. The importance of the event was further underlined by the presence of ambassadors and dignitaries, including ambassadors from India, Nepal and Sri Lanka, who inaugurated the Rath Yatra. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us at in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.